Hey Flosstube, I am Danielle and this is my channel Love and Stitchin', a channel all about cross stitch. Today is Sunday, May 8th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 22, I believe. So thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back and hanging out with me. I am on a different schedule this month because it is WIPMaynia, as I'm calling it. And I wanted to do a check-in every week just to kind of see where my progress is on the WIPs that I am working on. So Sunday is a different day for me to film on, but I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the Sundays of the month. My husband is currently taking the kids to do grocery pickup right now and pick up some lunch, which is great. I do also want to start off with saying Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, aunts, grandmothers, sisters, friends, all of the women out there. Women play such an important role in our lives, and so I just want to take today to celebrate all of you. And you know, when I was not a mother yet, my sister would always give me a aunt's card, and that always meant so much to me, and I continue to do that now with my kids and their aunts, and I think it's just a special way of honoring the women in our lives who do play such an important role. So I hope that today you can find some joy, some time to stitch, hopefully, and just enjoy the day. And we are having a beautiful day here with great weather. Yesterday was not beautiful. It was cold, which is weird because it's May, but that's okay. And let's see. I wanted to say thank you for all of the comments on my last video with my husband joining me. That was a lot of fun. It's so funny because a lot of the comments were about his personality and how funny he is, and he really is got a great sense of humor. And I just remember when we first started dating, just in those early days when we were kind of still getting to know each other, I told him, well, if you're anything, you're entertaining. And that comment I've never been able to let go of that comment because he reminds me of it. And it still is true today. He's so much more than that. But he definitely keeps things interesting and us laughing, and the kids think he's hilarious. So there's a lot of fun that happens. So it was fun for him to join me, and you never know, he may pop into another video down the road. And I think he got a different sense of what being in front of the camera is, because it is a different thing than what you realize until you're actually in front of the camera. All right, so I've got a lot to actually share today, and so let's just jump in. Not a whole lot has been going on with us, just work and normal life. I did get to do muffins with mom with my kids, which was really great at their preschool. And then yesterday we were able to spend some time with family. My nieces, 3 of them are in ballet, and they had their year-end ballet performance. And we've gone to, I think, all of them since they've started. And my oldest niece started at 3, and she's now almost 15. So she has been doing this for a while. And then the other 2 are 11 and 13. And so we were able to just spend that day with them and watch them perform, and they did great. And then we did a family dinner last night to celebrate. We've got 2 birthdays coming up on Tuesday. So my dad and my niece, who's gonna be 11, they share a birthday, and so we did Mother's Day and birthday celebrations. I had dinner together, and it was just a really great day. And then I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna do today, but spend the day with the family, our little family, the 4 of us, and it'll be great. So I hope that everyone gets to have a great day today. Okay, so let's jump into the stitching. Before I get into like my WIPs for WIPMaynia, I did get a couple things finished in the last couple days of the month. I was kind of pushing to get a couple things done. So I'm going to share those with you. I don't have any previous finishes because I've got a couple finishes that I wanted to share. I guess I do have one previous finish when we get to the giveaway. So I'll share that with you guys when we get down there. So for starters, I was able to get my May calendar crate finished, and it is fully finished. I'm going to start and show that one. Oh, I guess I can tell you, I'm in a different space. Not that you couldn't tell or anything. This is actually my office space, so my computer is right next to me, and it's actually a little corner of our room. So when I started working a little bit more, I kind of needed my own space. I was either in the evenings working in my husband's space, which is down in the basement, which is a finished basement, so it's not like a dungeon. It's very nice. And then, or if it was during the day, I was just on my laptop at the computer, or at the table, at the dining room table. So my husband was very kind earlier this year. I had kind of picked up some more work and was getting busier and needed like my own space. And so he put together a desk in this little corner of the room for me. And so I've got my desk with my work stuff, but then I've also got like a little craft corner to where I don't have to go down to the basement and pick up, you know, patterns or fabric or whatever I need, or have things up here in boxes. So I've got a shelf that is mounted, and it's got 3 shelves. And so I've got fabric and patterns that are down here. And then I've started converting all of my floss. And you can kind of see some of them have like kinks in them because they were on bobbins. and hanging them this way. So I've got them organized by numbers for the DMC, and then colors for my Classic Colorworks, because that's the floss that I have the most of. And then I've got some sampler threads and Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, but those I don't have as much, so they're kind of just on a queuing by themselves. Patterns here, let's see. I went ahead and did a little decorating over here with my bees, because I'm all about the bees right now, but I don't want to put it into my main decoration area, so I put some of my bee stitching over here, and then I've got some little odds and ends that I do there. So it's nice to have a little corner in our room that I can just have my stitching stuff handy, and I've got my whips over here in a basket behind me. So yeah, okay, calendar crates, let's get into that. Let's see, I've got it here. Hopefully it all stays together. So this is my May, let's hold the little thing up. My May calendar crates, and if you are new, I will go ahead and share. I've shared this before, but this board is very similar to the one that Priscilla and Chelsea did, except for I ended up kind of making it my own. So this main board is just an unfinished piece of wood from Michael's, and then I painted it, and my husband added these hooks that are just from Walmart, so they do still have the hooks. I already had, you know, who doesn't have mason jars, a mason jar, and he just used a wire clamp. I think that's what it's called, hose clamp, wire hose clamp, and put it on there to hang that on there. And then I have, let's see, my main, the blackboard is actually glued on there, so that because it's Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, and so that way I'm not having to switch out the black, because that's going to be the backer for everything. And then I just put my main piece on. It's probably crooked, but that's okay. And this one, this year, this month, I actually did a double fabric board. Normally I only do single, but I was looking at it with just the blue, and I said, no, it needs a little bit more because I love that red. And so I did get some Chelsea's checks and put that behind there as well. And then I have this little wreath that I got at an estate sale last year. And so for it, it's got a little wood piece here. And so I put the magnet on there and then the washer on this piece, and just have it a little bit bigger so it'll fit. And sometimes I'll put a different little piece up here, but I thought like this heart and the star actually kind of worked for now. So unless I find something else, I'm going to leave it that way. And then just a bow with some blue check fabric with, it's got some lace on it. I think I got that from Michael's. And I did use all of the called for colors because I'm in the club from Fat Quarter Shop, so everything comes together in the pattern and the floss. And so I just used that. And I think this month someone had commented that in the club you got only one bamboo maybe, and so you run out of bamboo, but then you got 2 skeins of the blue, and I can't remember, it's the new blue from Classic Colorworks. And so you might run out of the bamboo. So what I have done since I've been in the club and I've been collecting all of the floss packs is I take whatever bamboo, because bamboo's in all of them. So whatever bamboo I have left over from the last one, I just leave in my, I've got a cross stitch clutch that I use for this, and I'll show it to you. So I just leave the bamboo in there, and I'm just using the bamboo, and I've not run out because I've had leftover from previous charts, and so I've just been able to keep going with that. So if you are in the club and just, you know, hang on to the bamboo, or especially if it's a main color, and I'll actually do that with all of the colors. When I go to the next month, because there's a lot of greens, if they use the same green, I'll actually hold on to that green and use that one to where I'm using that one out before I start on the next one. And that works as long as, you know, it's the same, whatever the number is on the, I can't think of what it's called, on the die batch or die lot. As long as it's the same die lot, then it's okay, and generally it is. I've not really ran into any issues that the color looked different. So just a little tip if you are running low on floss and you're in the clubs or something like that. But anyways, I was super excited to get this one hung. I'm honestly thinking of keeping this one up all year. And so what I would do, because it doesn't have to be seasonal. This one is so versatile, especially since it's like quilting. So I may hang it like in this area and just get a different frame that I put it up. And then in May, it'll have to go back into the main area because it is for May specifically. But I love it, and I want to keep it up. This one, I think, is my favorite one of all of them so far. And we have seen all of them now, so I think it's my favorite one. All right. So that was my first finish. And let's see. Some of these I've shown you, but these are the fully finished. And so this is my June 9 patch by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And so simple finish on this one. All I did was the backer fabric, and I think it was just a check from Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something like that. And this is a wood box that is from the Dollar Tree, I believe. And if you've been to the Dollar Tree lately, they are kind of upgrading. I think they're trying to be like Dollar General in a way. So they've got some things that are a little bit more expensive. So like $3 or $5. But I actually still found like some chalkboard easels that were $1.25. And then they had some frames that were, I want to say they were 5 by 5. So they'd be great for the Dapper Doodads. And they had the beads here. So they've got like the wooden beads that go across. So you could paint them, you could leave them the natural color that they were. And it was $1.25 for the frame. So the beads, I was like, I'm getting a couple of these because I know I'm going to use them. Anyway, so that's that finish. It'll go up in June, but I did need to get it done before Mania. Okay, we'll set that one right there. And then last time I did finish my Summer Wishes and Bumblebee Kisses, I think is what it's called, by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And so this is my finish here. And this is on a cutting board from Hobby Lobby, and it was from the Valentine's section. So I actually kept the piece on here in case anyone was interested. And it said something about love, and it had red words. So I had to make this backer piece, the second board, big enough to where it covered the words. And then I did use this, and I wish I knew where I got this fabric from, because I was trying to find some yellow fabric that I wanted to use for the backer that was kind of bee-ish, that was in my stash. And then I came across this, and I was like, okay, that's perfect. And I know I've used it for probably something over here. Maybe, oh yeah, the Honeybee Lane is on it as well. You can see Honeybee Lane. It has that back there. So I'm holding on to this fabric because it's going to be used a lot for the bees. And then up here, this bow was already on here, so the black check was there. And then I found this ribbon at Dollar Tree, and I was super excited because I hadn't finished this yet, and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for a second bow, and I found it, and I said, okay, that's it. It's perfect. And then just a little daisy that I got probably in a pack from Hobby Lobby would be my guess. And then this fabric is polka dots. I think it's from Walmart, actually. Just the blue polka dots. And so I'm holding on to this fabric as well as I do more bees things. I think I'll finish them in a similar color palette. So that is the finish, and I am really excited about that one. So I will probably try to put it somewhere for a little while. And my last finish is Buffalo Plaid Summer. And so I worked really hard to get this one done. It was pretty close. I had most of the letters done, and so I was almost done. And then I did still have to do like the flowers and the beehive and all the bees and everything. So I wanted to just get it done and get ready for summer, because I'm going to try to put stuff out for summer, either the end of the month or maybe a little bit before the end of the month. I'm not sure yet, but I am going to start transitioning over. So this is the same board that Priscilla finished all of them on from Hobby Lobby. And then the beads, I can't remember. Were they like hung on the side maybe? Where's the holes? There's holes in this thing. Oh, they came down diagonally. That's what it was. So there's one up here, and then it came down diagonally. You can kind of see where it came through. So I just detached them, and I think I ended up hot gluing them just onto my backer board that I did to where they're up top. And then I put a Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, just black piece on board that goes back behind there, and then I can just switch it out on magnets. Whoops, that's super crooked. Okay, and then this is some sunflower fabric that I can't remember where I got it from that I put on the back. And it is stitched on 28 count. It's a light greenish, tealish mix. That's just a mystery fabric that I have. It's super soft. So it was really nice to work with, and it does have a little bit of modeling, not a lot, but a little bit. And so I like the black, but then sometimes I like to switch it up. And so for this series, I've been doing it on different colors. So my spring is actually right here. So my spring, I did it on pink, a pink 28 count that I had. That was, again, a mystery fabric, I think. And then for this one, I did the green. And fall will be next, and it'll probably be on like a beige-ish color, I think, with modeling or something. And I do want to get that one done this year. I do have the July 4th one, but I don't know if it's going to get done this year. And I don't know what color I'm going to do that one on. Maybe a blue. I don't know. We'll see. So anyhow, I used the called for colors. There is a mistake somewhere in here with the S. I don't know where it is, but you can't tell. And then the only thing I didn't do is I did not do the black in the checkboard. So I left it to where it shows the green. And I'm probably going to do that for all of them. as I'm using different colors, not do the black check, just do the white and what normally I think it's gray, but whatever color it is, just use that to where the fabric that I'm using kind of comes through and is a part of that check border. And I have seen this where they don't do where stitchers have not done the borders, and it looks fantastic because that border is a little bit tedious. And I think that's the only thing that's holding me back from doing the 4th of July one right now is that tedious border because it takes a little bit of work. But I love the look of it, and because I've done them with the border now, I feel like I need to continue the series with the border. So, but I will definitely get the fall and hopefully the winter one done this year and have the main pieces of the series done, and then just the special holidays that I need to finish up. So those are my, was that four fully finished pieces? And I thought about not sharing them all this time, but kind of integrating them into my videos because I don't know if I'll have finishes every single video since I'm only doing them once a week now, and that's a little bit faster than I normally move. But I wanted to go ahead and show them because I'm excited for them, and hopefully that'll push me maybe to be able to get some other things fully finished to where I can show them throughout this month. But if not, it's WIPMaynia, so you're going to see whips, and that's okay because it's appropriate and it goes with the theme of what this is for me. Okay, so speaking of whips, I do have a finish, but it's kind of part of the whips. So I'll show that when I get there. I started one more before I got into WIPMaynia, and this is my Seasonal Harvest Pillows by Donna. And I've done the spring one, and so now I'm working on Summer Harvest, which is up here. And this is on 25 count oatmeal, Lugana. Get my little board here. And I am changing the colors, just the things that I have in stash. And this calls for 2 different reds technically. And so you're gonna have the red in the barn, and then I think these are cherries. They're gonna be a different red. But I am probably just gonna use the variegated floss that I'm using, which is Barn Door, and just use that all throughout because I don't think you can tell a huge difference between the reds. So rather than get a different color, I'm just gonna do that. So all I've gotten done so far is the barn, but that's actually not too bad because there's just the wagon and then the cherries, and then of course the words that are over 1. And some of these, I think these 2 over here, cherries, are actually over 1 as well. But it's on 25 counts, so I know I can do the over 1 on 25 counts. So it'll be okay. But I am excited to get this one done. It was one I wanted to go ahead and start, and hopefully as I'm stitching throughout the month, maybe I can pick it up if I've got a little extra time apart from my main pieces that I am working on this month, and then I can maybe get finished. If not, it's quick, except for the over 1 stitching. That takes a little bit longer for me. So it should be done at least in June, and it'll be able to get up and be displayed. All right, so now for the official WIPMaynia. I'm going to go through them as I stitched on them. So each day of the week, and I'm probably going to try to keep them on the same rotation. I did have to change it up a little bit than what I initially had thought, but I think the schedule actually works pretty well. Just depending on what that day is. Some of them I can't stitch, like if we don't have a lot of time in the evening and we're going to be driving, I can't stitch them in the car, so I may try to pick up a smaller piece that day and then swap days, just depending on what we have going on that day. And you'll see why. There's at least one of them for sure that I'm not going to be traveling with. So the first day I started with my Santa's Helpers by Finally a Farmgirl, and I think I've got it pulled up yet. Because this is Santa's Sunday, essentially, I guess, but I'm doing my ornaments. So I'm going to continue with that theme. If I get this one done and the Sundays, and I still have some time at the end of the month, or just depends on how long it takes me, I do have 2 other whips that are ornaments that I have that I'm going to pull out and try to work on those. So I really am trying to not start anything. I do have an exception to that, and I'll share that at the end. But I'm trying not to share anything and keep this within the whip family to where I am trying to get those works in progress knocked out, or at least make progress on them. So this is, let's see, the ornament that I'm working on right now, which is Santa's Helpers by Finally a Farmgirl. And he is just so cute. And she did post that she has I think it's 20% off sale today for Mother's Day. So I actually went ahead and got Mrs. Claus just this morning. And I'm going to try to, in this video, insert my progress. So I'm going to try to insert a picture of where I started and then where I'm at now. And I'll try to do that each video so you can see where I'm at. So I'll take a picture of where I'm at today when I start working on this one. And I'll put that in the next video so you can see the progress that I've made. So far, this is where we are at with him. And so we had planned on making a road trip today, but that actually ended up changing, so we are not doing a lot of traveling. But so what I had planned, knowing that we were going to be traveling today, what I was planning on doing was getting all of these outlined, where all I had to do was go fill in all of the red and all of the white of his beard. I think there's white up here too as part of his hat. So that I figured and the green. So I figured if I had everything outlined, all I have to do is fill in, and that'll make it go pretty quickly, and it's easy for car stitching. But we're not traveling anywhere today. The plans changed, and so I will still probably maybe work on some fill-in. I don't know. I might keep going on over here and try to finish, and I do have more fabric. Try to finish the part that's over here, and then leave all of the fill-in for the end, because that'll be pretty quick and pretty easy. So I think, depending on how much time I get tonight and next week, I think I might be able to get this done in the next 2 nights of working on it, which will be the next 2 Sundays. We'll see. I have lofty goals, but I think it'll go quick. And he's so cute. I'm really excited with where he's at right now, and excited to keep working on him and seeing him finish. I'm using mostly the called for colors, and this is on Pictureless Plus 32 count Gingerbread Lugana. The only color I think that I'm not using is it calls for Classic Colorworks. You know, I've got it right here, I can tell you. Classic Colorworks Cupid. But instead, I am using, and Chrissy actually recommended this one, I think, and she loves this one and stitches with it a lot. So it is a DMC, and it's DMC 115. So it's a DMC variegated floss. And so I'm using that one because I didn't have Cupid, but I did have that one. So I just grabbed it, and I really do like how it looks. And this one is in a Dot Dot Juice purple bag that I absolutely love. Purple's my favorite color. All right, sorry, dropped something. Okay. So then on Mondays, we're now to Monday, I am working on my June calendar crate. And so that was my one finish for Mania, I guess, so far. Official finish. Because I had those other finishes, but they were before May. So I got this little guy, and I started him before May 1st, and I had the S and part of the W, I think. So I finished up the rest of him and got the little guy finished. And then I did get a little bit of a start. It's super exciting. Let's see. On the big, so this will be the crate, and then I'll start going down on Monday. And so I think I'm probably going to be working on this one into June. I don't think 4 Mondays is going to be enough time to work on him, because there's a lot to him. There's a lot of red and a lot of strawberries. And this is one, I guess you could technically go through like I did on the last one and stitch all of the white, but there's not as much white. There's more red than anything else. And so I'm probably going to color hop on this one, just because it'll help me keep track of where I am, and it'll just be a little bit easier, I think. And all the called for colors, because I am in the floss pack and the pattern club. I can't talk. And then this is in, let's see, I'll show you this. This is my Sunflower Dot Dot Goose bag. It is the very first project bag that I got. It was a Mother's Day gift like 2 years ago, I think, from my sister-in-law. And so it has housed all of my trucking alongs, all of my calendar crates, and I don't know, I still have some calendar crates to work on. So when I'm working on those, and I've got the month to month, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may have to keep them both in there, or get another bag that's gonna be Housewives. I don't know. But then this is the cross stitch clutch, because this is a project that is ongoing all year. I am keeping my one cross stitch clutch, which I love, in there because it gets used all the time. And so my floss is a mess right now. A little Priscilla floss toss there. But I keep it in there, and then any extra floss that I have from the month prior, I keep it in there and just keep going. So that is Mondays. Tuesdays, I've got 2 projects because I'm doing 2 series, and I think I've got enough time to work on like one in the morning and then one in the evening, and so far it's worked out. I've been trying to get up a little bit early before the kids get up and get a little bit of stitching time in. I've found that I'm not a morning person. I don't like mornings. But it's good for me to kind of have that transition from me waking up to then taking care of the kids. So it's nice to just have a little bit of calm and quiet, even though it takes me a little while to wake up before I'm taking care of the kids and they're up and things are going. So I've been taking that time to do a little bit of stitching in the morning, which has been really nice. And so in the mornings, unless it's a piece that I think that I can also work on, I've been working on this one, which is why it's gotten so much progress. So it's almost done. That's September. Let me get the right month. This is June. this is my sample of the month, June, and it's one of 4 that I still need to finish because this was a series that came out last year by Cottage Needleworks, and I stitched 8 of them. Is that right? I think that's right. But I still had 4 more to go. So I did show this one last week because I had started working on it. But let's see. Get him laid out here. Okay. There we go. So this is where I'm at. So last time I was working on the house, and so I hadn't filled in all of this. And so I got the house done, finished the trees, all of the flowers down here. Pretty sure all of them are done. And then the strawberries. And I realized as I was looking at this that I had not put the green stems on the strawberries up here. And so I was really glad I caught that, and I was able to get that fixed. So I just have this bottom part down here to go, I think. Yeah, so I've started down here working on what's this part. So this one will be done this week, which is exciting. And then I've got, you know, the next month, which I think the next one I haven't done is September. So I will just pull September out and start working on September. The only color change on this one, actually, no, that's not true. There's 2, I think. So one of the blues, I am using a Weeks Dye Work, which is Seafoam. So it's a light blue that I'm using instead of the called for. And let me see if I can look where my pattern is. So I'm using this one instead of Frozen Margarita, which is a classic Colorworks. And then for the red, instead of, I think it's, yeah, Cherry Tomato, I'm using Ladybug for the red. And so that's the red that I'm using. I think everything else is called for, and you can see my mess of floss because this has been a year, over a year, but it's a 12 months of these guys. And so I've just kept all of the floss in this bag, and all of my fabric and everything, charts, everything's in there. And this is Stitching with the Housewives. All right, so that was the first one for Tuesday. My next one for Tuesday, which again you saw last time, is my Fall on the Farm that I'm working on by Little House Needleworks, and this is the 4th one, and it is Pick Your Own, so apples. So I think this one will be done this week as well, because all I am doing left is this tree now, and I think I've got a crow at the top of the tree. Let's see, did I get all of the truck done? I think I got all of them, maybe? Oh, I've got a little bit here to fill in of the truck. I'm kind of going by color, and so that makes it a little bit easier. And then I've got a little bit of red to do in these trees. So just finish the tree up. The little girl's done. So this one should be done this week because there's not much left. That's where we're at. I am using Called For colors, and this is on, oh, I've got it here. 28 count Mushroom Lugana. You think I'd remember this. I've been working on this one all year long, but I don't. And so when this one is done, I do have the next one, number 5, and I think it'll probably take me the rest of the month to get number 5 done. I think there's a little bit more stitching in that one because it is the, I think I put it in here. It just looks like there's a little bit more because there's more, like this is all filled in. So that's all stitching. But it is in a pattern, so maybe it won't take as long. And this is in another Dot Dot Goose bag. This was a Christmas present this year, and it is, oops, my fall bag. And it's great. All right, we're to Wednesday. So this week was the week of the frog coming out. And if you are not familiar with what that means, it means that you are ripping out stitches that you have messed up, and so, or, you know, can't fix. And so you're ripping it. And so a frog says, ribbit, ribbit. So rip it, is where that came from. And I didn't know that for a very long time. I just knew it was called frogging. I didn't really know why. And then within the last couple of years, it has been a topic of conversation, and people have asked. And so there's been responses. And so I learned that. And so my next piece I'm going to bring up because it is on my iPad. And I stitched this thing 3 times. And I will show you what I mean. So this is by Owl Forest Embroidery. It is my Turtle Quaker piece. And Honeybee Stitcher on YouTube, she is also stitching this piece, and she, I think, is working on the bottom. She may have started in the middle and come down to the bottom. So if you want to see someone else working on this, she's posting progress as well. And she just uploaded a video like last week, I think. This was my birthday start, so back in February, and I only had the top border done. And I had 2 days of work on it, I think. And so I have decided, I'll show you the big piece and then we'll zoom in. So this is where I'm at right now. And so I had that top border done. It was pretty easy, very repetitive, which is great. This is my first Quaker piece that I've ever done. And so I was gonna start up here in the top right corner, left corner. Don't know my directions. And it's a beautiful motif, beautiful turtle. I started this one in the morning. I thought I could do a Quaker early in the morning. No. And when I talk about the forgiveness of patterns, Quakers are not as forgiving as like the Stitching with the Housewives patterns. Because if you make a mistake, you're looking for symmetry in here. And if there's not symmetry, that's really hard to cover that up. So I've learned a lesson. So I started, I started here and I was working my way down and around. And about over here, I realized that this line, straight line here was not gonna add up. And so I had to take all of this out, down here, up to here. And I had missed a stitch over here, I think. And so I'm stitching along, it's by evening by now, we're watching a TV show or something. So I picked it back up, I ripped it out and picked it back up. And I get up here. And this guy is like taller, like a stitch taller than this arm. Okay, great. Now what have I done? So they're not adding up. So I had to rip, I think I had to rip down around here, or I don't know. I had to rip a whole lot out. And I was like, I'm never going to get this turtle done. And so it was a good 11 o'clock, and I don't stay up that late usually before I got this one done. And I was like, no, I'm going to finish this turtle. My husband went to bed. I said, I'm determined to finish this turtle because I've stitched this guy 3 times now. He is getting done, and I'm going to be done with him before I pick him up again. Because otherwise, if it weren't WIPMaynia, I think he might be going in timeout and not being picked up for a little while. But he will be touched this week. I am going to pick him up and continue working down around here probably. But not until the evening when I have a clear mind and it's not 6 a.m. and I'm trying to wake up. Goodness gracious. So for this one, I am using the Owl Forest threads. I got them last year in the mail. And I do enjoy stitching with them. So I'll show you a couple of them here that are not opened up yet. And let's get that blue. This blue is really pretty. So here's just a couple of them that I've got. And it's probably not a good background to put them on. Let's try this, a neutral background. And this is how they come. So they come in this way, and then you just unravel them. And I think this is DMC based. And so if you were to put them on like a floss drop or something like that, you would just do the way that Kimberly has a video on how to kind of convert your DMC to that. And that's what I followed. And so I do have a couple of them that are already like that. So what I'm doing is I'm looping it through that little hole, the main pieces that I've cut, and then the piece that I'm currently working on. I'm just winding around the bobbin. And it is stitched on 28 counts, Zweigart Springfield Sage Lugana. And I love it. And this is in a turtle bag that I made. So you can kind of see the turtle fabric. And I made this last year, I think, and it's got a little turtle zipper pull. He's so cute. Because I love turtles. Okay, so that was Wednesday. So now we're on to Thursday. So what do we have going on Friday? I feel like we had something going on Friday. Maybe not. That I was going to work on this piece on Fridays, and then I realized this Friday it wasn't going to work out. So it is my Thursday piece. It is a piece that I showed in my WIP parade back in the beginning of the year. And it got a lot of comments, but it is a very large piece. So I needed some motivation to start putting some stitches into it. This is one of my 2 oldest WIPs probably. And I haven't put any stitches into it probably in a decade, I'd say. Ooh, that's a long time. I can't remember when I started it, the last time I've picked it up. I've looked at it, it sits in my closet because it's on its scroll bar and my scroll frame. And I just haven't had the motivation to pick it up because it does have to be in the scroll frame for me to stitch it. And so I am doing I don't know what the method is called, but like my right hand is on the bottom and then my left hand is on the top. So I'm stitching back and forth that way. And in the last 2 years, I've been stitching in hand. And so it's a different method of stitching for me. And so I have to switch my brain back to that kind of stitching. Anyhow, so this is from the Treasures Needlework book, and it is from, what year is it from? I don't know. It doesn't say what year it's from. It's the premiere issue, volume 1, number 1. April. No, maybe not April. I don't know. It doesn't have a year on it. So this is the piece. It is the 3 wise men, or the Pageant Kings is what it is called. I'm stitching it on a 28 count that is very much this color. I don't know if it's the called for or not. Using all of the called for colors in their DMC, except I'm not using the Krynic. So there is Krynic in here. When I first started this, I do remember that I had started putting the Krynic, I think it was probably into this one, and I absolutely could not do it. I've stitched with Krynic before. I've done it. I don't like it. And so I didn't want to do it because this is such a big piece. I didn't want to be miserable stitching with it. So I actually ended up tearing out a good half of this probably when I started it, and then restitched it without the Krynic. I've done a lot of work on this. Some of the back stitching is done with these little pieces. A lot of it is not, so I'm saving that for the end. There's a lot of beads in here. I think they have some close-up pictures. That's the Krynic, so maybe not close-up of the beadwork. But that's a close-up picture of the Wiseman, so you can kind of see the detailing in there. So there is a lot of back stitch. The back stitch in and of itself will take me a year to do probably, because the entire border is back stitched all the way around, all the way on the insides of like every single color that there is. There's a lot of it. So like I said, this is on my scroll frame that I have, and I've stitched down to, I haven't done that bottom block. So this border on the sides goes all the way down to right there. So I haven't stitched that bottom block all the way down yet. But I'm not going to take it off of here because that's a lot of work to put it back on. And it's been on here for 10 years. So let's see. This is that top part. And so I've done some of the back stitch in here. I do have to back stitch all the way around the outside of the purple, and then all up here has to be back stitched. And I didn't do the inside of this one around the purple, so I do have to do all that. There's tons of back stitch in the borders, lots of beads in here. So what did I do since the last time? This Thursday I ended up not with a lot of time. I can't remember what happened. I think I ended up getting some evening meetings that I had to do, and so I didn't have a lot of time to stitch. But I have broken this up into where I want to work on it, and I've picked out the colors for just those little areas. And so where I was when I left off is I think I was up here in this little green area. I didn't have all of the green filled in. And then I also have this little green area with it's 3 colors, I think. And then the donkey is 3 or 4 colors. So my goal is to work this coming week on this green part and then start in on the donkey. And that would be really great progress for me, I think. And as I was looking through the pattern, I've got some of the city in the background and then some over here as well. So I might also try to fill in around the Pageant Kings heads, and then there's the great star up there, and get the city done as well. And I think I might have some green over here done. Yeah, some of the green with the city. So we'll just see kind of where the month takes me. Like I said, this one takes a little bit more time to stitch, a little bit more focus as well, because it's a different pattern with all of the back stitch and everything. It's just very different than what I normally stitch. So what I did this week is there were 2 colors that I had not finished in this top green portion. So I filled those in. So I will show that to you a little bit closer. That's over here, I think. So in this area, there were 2 more greens that needed to be filled in. And hopefully by now you've seen the before picture, because I hopefully have inserted it. So you can kind of see where it started and now where it is at. This one's going to take a long time. My goal is just to put stitches in and make some progress on it. And I've already accomplished that because it hadn't been touched in 10 years and now it's got some progress. So hopefully that'll get me motivated to keep working on it. And then even after May, maybe take a day or 2, a month, and put some work into it, because I love this piece. This will be something that I would frame. And even though it is, you know, a Christmas piece, I probably would keep it out all year long, because it is such a large piece that has taken so long that it needs to be up and displayed all year long. So that one you will see a few more times this month to see what kind of progress I can make. At the end of the month, we are traveling to Florida, and so my last video will probably be at the beach. Probably not on the beach, but at our condo where we're staying. And that one will not travel with me, so I'll be inserting a picture at the end. because that's a big piece to travel with. But I will do the work on him that week before we leave, and then when I do my last video at the beach, I will share a picture of the final progress that I have made over the course of the month. Okay, this one is not in a very exciting bag to share with you. It is in one of my Walmart bags. But I do have the floss that I have in this little turtle bag. So I'm keeping the floss in there separate from everything else. And that is, she has all those bags. They're really like pretty embroidered and colored. There's a shop. Oh my goodness, really? Does it say on here? Probably doesn't. Vera Bradley. Oh my gosh, really? Vera Bradley. That's a Vera Bradley, just a little tote bag. And I do have some other, I can show you this. This is a Vera Bradley bag as well. I think it's supposed to be like a makeup travel bag maybe. But it opens up and you can put projects in it. So I've got some ornaments in this one because I thought it would be a perfect little travel project bag. And of course I dropped something else. Okay, so that takes us to where are we at? Friday? So we've got 2 more days, 2 more WIPs to go. And this is the day. And I do have to say thank you so much to those of you who commented on my last video, because I started working on this one with a little bit, I posted on my Instagram of some repair work on the window. So one of these window pans, I had one of the window sills was off, not in alignment. And so I did have to go unstitch that. And that was actually super, super quick to do, which was good. And then I was able to make some more progress on it. So this is Plumstreet samplers. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people working on this one, most popular market piece, and it's beautiful. I did actually see someone, Mrs. Jones Stitches maybe? Is that right? I might be wrong. Someone had made some changes and she linked the person who had on Instagram made those changes without the goats. And so the goats there's 2 goats over here. So she added in more flowers with the birds. And then I don't know what she did up here. And I might actually do that too. If there is a reason why the goats are there, let me know. I'm just curious if has something to do with, I was going to look at this and see, I forgot to do that. If she had put anything in here as to why the goats were there. If it's just an aesthetic thing because they're sweet, I don't know. But I don't know if I'm going to stitch them or not. So I might change it up as well. But anyways, I'm still working on the house. I've got a long way before I have to make that decision. And I am using all the called for colors. And this is where we're at. Sorry, I've got really long hair. It's getting in the way. I'm going to bring that in closer because it's hard to see from a distance. So what did I do this week? I'd already had all of the bricks done here. Did I mention it's the week of the frog? Because he came out for this one as well, which was not very nice. And I may have to pause here in a second. The husband and the kids just got home. And so I had messed up one of the bricks here. So what I did is I fixed my window over here. And then I filled in all of the bricks down here, and I'm so close to being done. I could have been done had I not had the frog. I finished the door and I started working on, I think these are the stair steps. So let's see, I had messed up a brick in here somewhere, so I had to take all of this out. And the way that I'm stitching it is like I'm going to do a line across and then I stitch up a little bit and then I keep going and stitch up, and you know, I'm stitching it in a weird way, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. And so I had to like figure out where all my stitches were to be able to tear this out and not have to tear everything out. So that took a little bit of work to figure it out, because I thought I could fudge it, and then I looked at it and I said, no, I can't fudge the way that the bricks are laying. It's going to look funny if I don't fix it. So I did have to fix that. So I will continue this week working and hopefully get all of these bricks over here done, finish my step, and then I'm hoping I can start filling in some bricks. I'm so excited to start filling in some colors. And that's kind of where I'd like to take this one this week. And all right, we've got one more. So we've got Saturday. So what I worked on yesterday. So my final WIP is Little House Needleworks America, because I did want to start working on some of my WIPs that are patriotic, and hopefully get something finished to put out. Probably gonna do a patriotic display coming up soon. And so I'm gonna show a picture of where it was beforehand. This was a Mania start. no, 2 years ago, I think I started this one. And so this is where we are now. So all I had done at that point, I had this green border down here, the green all the way up and around. And so what I did yesterday was the entire flag, and I love that flag. I did some red and I started filling in some of the red through here, and then the fence here, and then finished up the white and the red down here because I hadn't finished up the stars down there. So that's where we're at. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the red down here and start working on the words and the house. So where'd my pattern go? There it is. This is on a 28 count coffee tea dyed like blue Monaco that is ages old. I did not dye it or anything like that. I don't know if it came that way or if this is just a fabric that I got and then I decided to coffee tea dye. I don't remember. But I have another Patriotic piece that's on this fabric, and I love this fabric, this color for Patriotic pieces. So I think I can get this one done this month as well. And if I do, then I'm going to pick up another Patriotic whip. So that's kind of my goal, is as I'm finishing things, if I'm able to get things finished, pick up another whip to where the whips are making progress. So that's all of my stitching for this week. Normally, I don't think it'll be this much because stitching on a weekly basis, I'll still have like the 7 whips to show, but I don't think I'm going to have as many finishes and things like that. And so the videos will probably be shorter than this one that I did not realize is now 45 minutes. I did want to say a big thank you. I did get some stitchy kindness in the mail, and that is from Lorelei, and she is in New Zealand. And so thank you so much, Lorelei. I wanted to share a couple of those with you. She sent some beautiful Patriotic patterns. And so if you are looking towards doing some Patriotic stitching, this might give you some inspiration as to what kind of patterns to go look for. I don't know how many of them are still available, where they're still available, etc. But this is by Eliza Ann Scott, and it's so cute. And Plumstreet samplers, I have seen this one. Summer delivery. And I'm just going to pick a couple of them since we are running and my family did just get home. This is Little House Needleworks Old Glory. I love it. Thank you so much, by the way. I cannot say thank you enough when I get a message that says, hey, I've got some things that I want to send to you. Can I do that? Oh my gosh, that's just, it makes my day. It is so sweet to think of me, and I'm just very, very grateful. So thank you so much for thinking of me and taking the time to send these to me. This is a Brenda Gervais, which Priscilla did. Another Little House Needleworks. The Early Americans. Let's see. There's a Old Glory behind it with the charms. This is Abby Rose Designs, Long May She Wave. And Grand Old Flag, I think that's Brenda Gervais. Yeah, with the needle and thread. Let's see. Where Liberty Dwells by Brenda Gervais. And the majority of these I did not have. A Manny D. Donna that I didn't have. I love that. I'm sure there's over one stitching that I might, so it would have to be on a 25 count. And then Patriot's Row by Little House Needleworks. So these were so generous, so thank you so much. There were 2 in there that I did have, so I'm going to use those as the giveaways for today. And then speaking of giveaways, first off, there were, I think, 2, maybe 3 that I haven't heard from my last video. So if you have not sent me an email, please do so and claim those, and I will ship them out. Everything else has shipped out. I did have someone mention that my email, I don't know if it was their email, I don't know what it was, but the email did not go through, so they just contacted me on Instagram, which is a good way. So if I haven't responded to you on email, it's because I didn't get it. So please try again or try me on Instagram, whatever it is, to get in touch with me, and I will get those out as soon as possible. So for this week, I had 2 giveaways. And so the first one, these were courtesy of Beth for sending them to me. So this was the entire series for a year in chalk. I want to say season in chalk, but that's not right. A year in chalk. And I was going to show my finish on that real quick because I have stitched this series. And so what I did with this one is everything is on washers and magnets in case I want to take it off. I generally don't though. So this piece is even on washers and magnets. So I just switch them out. I had the bow on washer and magnets too because I thought I was going to switch it out. I have not. I decided to go simple with this one and just do the same bow every single time. So all I have to do is switch out this main piece, and it's a quick, easy switch out. And this board is from Michael's. It's Art Minds. That's Michael's, I think. Right? Maybe. It's from Art Minds, whichever department or store carries that. So this just hangs on my wall. And so I did switch it out because it is May. And in the intro video, I did change out my May decor. So hopefully you guys saw that as well. So this first one goes to AJ Borthwick. So congratulations, AJ. Just email me and I will get that in the mail to you, or Instagram, like I said, and I will ship out on Tuesday or Thursday, depending on when I hear from you. And then I also had the Witch Out Black Linen 28 count, I believe. And that goes to Jackie Onyon, Onyon. So Jackie, congratulations, and AJ, congratulations. So just send me your emails, and I will have my email below as well as my Instagram. So for this week, I was going to do 2 of the Patriotic pieces that I have, and this one is a current whip that I'm working on, and you might see it if I get the other one done because it is in my stash to do. So this is Liberty by Little House Needleworks, 1776, and I absolutely love this one. I'm doing it on that same blue fabric that I'm doing America on. So this will be number 1. For the giveaways, please, I haven't even thought about a question. I'm super prepared. I'm not used to doing this every week. I'll think of one here in a second. Please comment below with whatever the question is. Don't say giveaway. Don't say winner. Don't say anything like those keywords, just so this goes to someone who is cross-stitching. Please be a subscriber, like the video, and I think that's it. Be 18 to where I can get your address to send this to you. All right, so, and list the numbers. So just put number 1 or number 2, or you can put both if you want to try to enter for both. So this will be number 1 and number 2, and I'm actually going to show my finish on this one next week. This is Lizzie Kate Land That I Love. So it doesn't have the charm, because there's like a little heart charm. I don't even know if mine has the charm in it. I've stitched this one twice. One for my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and then one for us. So I will bring my finish next time. I think I've shown it before. I can't remember. But I'll bring that and show you guys as well. So this is 1 and 2. Easy to keep track of those numbers. I think that's everything. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Like I said, I hope you have a great day, a great week ahead, whatever you are doing for Mania, whatever stitching you're working on. Oh, question. What question should we do? What is your favorite pattern that you're working on right now? And if you're a monogamous stitcher, just tell me what you're stitching on. We'll keep it simple. Just let me know what you're working on, and I would love to hear from you on that. All right, so I hope you guys have a great day. I've got to go help unload some groceries, and I think we're going to eat lunch now. So thank you so much.